Yo, adafo aha aye GhanaTube na so we masai atna se HSA ensem no de ano hye pa ensem a ekoso ewo Ghana no bebre kwa atase Kamala Harris US for Vice President ebepi mu ewo Ghana ensem no de ekoso ewo Ghana yi pomo bebo na baso omo be kan ensem no enso kan ensem no Etiano na we dey me fa nko honorable Sam George and ningo pram for MP ono ni nim se de ono so okasa Ghana nsem no ota ka bi pa na Sam George ehwe nsem egu na Kamala Harris visit Ghana na so ba Ghana nim se na o deliver public address and I say o public lecture any go be se na boni be se and your been saving at to Jalo can send me US for Vice President and okasa and about human rights. So I just said human rights, you have the right to do this, you have the right and human say and you send me concerning human rights and no and Sam George any Kamala Harris clash upon say now Kamala Harris problem about human rights and war. Now, you are the last person to talk about human rights, and as I will say, and yes, and as I'm doing, form making kind in several edit. I want to making kind media, wait me edit our comments, no comments box, now making kind edit. I want to say, and as I'm George, say you are the last person who should talk about human rights. It is Sam George and the cast I say me Kamala Harris. It is a member of parliament for Ningo Pram. Sam George has criticized the Vice President of the United States of America, Kamala Harris, over comments she made on the criminalization of LGBTQ plus activities in Ghana. According to the MP, the US Vice President should be the last person to educate Ghana on human rights because in her country, the lives of people are taken for no reason. It is a year MP Eddie Nsenu Etuda Abrana, US Vice President wanted to educate Ghanaians on human rights on LGBTQ plus. It's LGBTQ plus for a semi but basis to their edit and I say yes, I'm George. Now if you are talking about human rights, then you are the last person to talk about because you are not about chroma. And say human lives no crime. You really take it for granted. You don't really appreciate what it means. So he added that if Kamala cares about human rights so much, she should focus on ensuring that the lives of Americans, including children, are protected. And yes, I'm George into Kamala Harris is not the SI unit for human rights. She's actually one of the last person in the world who should be talking about human rights. Or say when you're on the apples, say SI unit for human rights and your Kamala Harris shouldn't be the SI unit for human rights. Or and you know and then measure for human rights. And and as well Kasa after human rights so you because she should be the last person to talk about human rights in the world. It was as Vice President of the United States. She comes from a country where human rights abuses are rife. In fact, barely 2 hours after she finished making those comments that she was interested in human rights in her own country, a 28-year-old woman walked into a school building and killed 3 children and teachers. I silence or say so can or no Sam George say the last person who should talk about human rights or to educate Ghanaians on human rights, Kamala Harris. Now after so you can deliver a speech on human rights, LGBTQ plus and the crew. A 28 years old woman and your bema oba ebora school bimu ekokum obi any 2 and 3 children while ekokum 3 school children else any teacher entidipa or kasa about human rights no onuniana. In fact ono Sam George de neria bepa so person obi kan Ghana for onka but my no me tell about LGBTQ plus and gay and before kase usha gays and 70 because usha se me na me se me pe na me pese me ni oba fufu nia was here why should you talk about it and na face me na me be ma na me say yanku be mo be no he me fe pa and na me pese me ni ni ye da me ni be ya why should you talk about it? These are things that human rights. Humans, we have the right to do whatever we are supposed to do. And say, and as I'm George I say, or no, any the best person. I'll bet you can take an ears on human rights. We know better. Just say, I believe that a vice president who has been elected and is concerned about human rights should be concerned about the children in school, that they should be able to have a decent education without fearing that indiscriminate gun violence will end their life. Gun violence is a human rights issue. Oh, I see. He has not been able to deal with those issues. She is quoted. Instead, the MP made these remarks while reacting to the response of Kamala Harris when she and President Nana Akufo-Addo were confronted with the issues of criminalization of the LGBTQ plus activities in Ghana. Responding to the question at Julie House, Kamala Harris said that for her, being LGBTQ is a human right. And she added that every person that has the right to live as he or she wants. So say Kamala Harris, according to her, say every human being has the right to live so far as he or she wants. Let me be clear about where we stand. First of all, for the American press who are here, you know that a great deal of work in my career has been to address human rights issues, equality issues across the board, including those related to the LGBT community. And I feel very strongly about the importance of supporting the freedom and supporting and fighting the equality among all people, and that all people to be treated equally. I will also say that this is an issue that we consider, and I consider to be a human rights issue, and that will not change. So that is Kamala Harris's stance on human rights, and she feels so far as you're a human being, you have the right to do whatever thing you feel to do. It's your no LGBTQ now. And for someone who say, kaka is satanic, and I say it is a criminal offense, it's an illegal thing to do in Ghana. According to her, she feels human rights is very important. If you feel like doing whatever you are supposed to do it. And then as I'm doing, they can say, now look at who is talking about human rights. Look at who. Now, if you want to talk about human rights, you are the last person to talk about, because they don't take the lives of people really seriously, because people can walk in, do whatever they want to do to their fellow human and live free and safe, all because of human rights. And human rights are there, any saying there a course between Kamala Harris and her face to Sam George. I brought Kamala Harris and human rights in Semi and Sam George as on the last person. He should be the last person to talk about human rights in Ghana. I brought OBP and for 70 day baby when Sam George the forgetting for comment box major. I'm a snowy metabreak. Never can kind in Semno and the amount of for comments in a book in Send American. When you subscribe me now for bell so this is in 70 day with the 2 away and the 18 pass. Nonsense is here, Macron.